Joining me here at Brackley, Hereford manager Peter Beadle. What on earth happened there? Never seen Hereford so disjointed or so dispirited out there today. What did you make of it?
I don't think dispirited. I think that obviously incidents change games, and I think up until the first incident of the goal, I thought we were well in the game. We're away from home. We're playing a team that won the trophy last year and got to the playoff final, so they're no mugs. They're just hitting a little decent run of form at the moment. So it wasn't going to be a walk up, turn up and roll them over. They're not going to roll over and die, so we knew we were in for a game. But like I said, incidents change games, and the first one there with that challenge on Ryan, the lad's thrown a blatant elbow. I've just seen it on the video, but the linesman who was 2 yards away said he didn't see it, and the referees also said that he didn't see it either. And after that, you know, people fall asleep. Billy loses his runner. Billy and the lad runs through, gets a clear shot of goal, but it's a foul. At the end of the day, it's a foul. After that, we're in the game. You know, we're not out of the game. They're probably at the lion's share of play. We never again looked a little bit not so fluent, a little bit, like you said, a little bit disjointed at times. And then you have the second incident when Elliott gets sent off. And again, the referee has said to me that he feels that the sixes was more of an act of aggression rather than violent conduct, which is why he only got a yellow. But he says that Elliott stamped on the six. Now, Elliott's saying it was an accident, he was falling over and he didn't deliberately stamp on him. So again, we'll need to look at the video to see, you know, to have a look at that properly. Unfortunately, the one here is not good enough to see it. But again, like I said, that also could change the game when we go down to 10 men. We come out second half and we started brightly second half and we could have been 1-1. A great ball in from Billy Murphy, Jordan Lybird's middle of the goal, free header, misses the ball completely. And then unfortunately, within 2 minutes of that, they're 2-0 up. So, you know, and then obviously it's always going to be hard work from when you're 2-0 down away from home and you're down to 10 men. At 1-0 you give yourself a chance, but 2-0 is going to be a little bit more tougher. And then right in the 90th minute, you know, Dins, you know, you can't condone it. You can't stick up for him because he's, you know, it's a foolish thing to do. And you know, and now we're going to be without him for 3 games, and probably Elliott for 3 games as well. So we're going to miss 2 key players for 3 games. So, you know, and
what has he said about it? Because the red mist descended, he'd won the free kick, and yet out came the headbutt.
Exactly. Well, like I said, I've just asked him then. You know, what were you thinking? Unfortunately, it's the red mist, and it's difficult for people to give you an answer. Then he's apologised, but apology isn't acceptable because it's, you know, because it's going to be a difficult couple of weeks when we lose him and Elliott. So, you know, but there isn't much we can do about it now. We've got to go back, and I've just said to them there that we got to be brave, and we've got to stick together, and we've got to work harder. And you know, and today we look like a team that, I just said to Steve, with 20 minutes to go, we look like a team that have just turned up and played for the first time together today. And I don't understand why, because on Thursday, when we trained on Thursday, they were so bright and sharp. You know, and we came in today and said, look, can we carry that into today? But for whatever reason, like I said, I suppose that whether it was the first incident with the goal, and then it knocked us off our duck a little bit, and then with the sending off, all of a sudden people's psyches to go the other way, where it's like more of a hanging on job. And you know, we were well within our rights to go and try and get something back out of the game, but obviously when the second goal went in, you know, obviously that kills it a little bit for us. And then it's a case of, you know, sort of trying to tentatively sort of poke and prod to try and get back in the game, knowing that we can't give away too much at the other end, because a third goal puts us even more out of the game. But again, we played a good side who controlled the game after they went 2-0 up, controlled it with 11 men, and we got a little bit of our own medicine.
How good do you think Brackley are?
I think they were last year. They were obviously the 3rd best team in this league. You know, they won the trophy last year. So, you know, they've gone with a little bit of a difference this year in the way they're playing. Last year they played 3 at the back. This year they've gone with a 4 and trying to be a bit more expansive. And they got some very good players going forward. So, you know, they've had probably a start that they probably wouldn't have wanted. But they're gathering some momentum now, and they've had a couple of good results, and barring a lapse in concentration by the sounds of it, they could have beaten Chorley last week. So, you know, so they're not, you know, they're certainly going to be there or thereabouts come the end of it. So, you know, like I said before, Kev's got a decent group of players here. They're well organised, they're well drilled, you know, and obviously they're obviously bouncing on that momentum of last year when they won the trophy and got to the playoff final.
How much will you use the HFA Challenge Cup match now as a rebuilding exercise on Tuesday?
It's not a rebuilding exercise. We know that them players out there are more than capable of giving us more than what they're giving us today. The tactics are no different. The training's been no different. Unfortunately, like I said, there's only so much you can do until the players cross that white line, and then it's up to the players to then put that into action. We were hard done by today with a couple of decisions, but they were major ones that at the time they had a huge impact in the way the game went. But it's up to the players now to bounce back, and I've just said to the men, we can't be a Jekyll and Hyde team. I thought we were excellent last week against York. I thought we were a little bit all over the place, or a little bit, not so great against Bradford, and we've not, I suppose we're looking at it at a bigger picture because of the circumstances. But up until the first goal, we were well in the game. So, were we that bad up until the first goal? Probably not. Were we that bad up until half time at 1-0? Probably not. But obviously, once the second goal goes in and we're trying to chase it, and they've got an extra body, and they're a very, very good side, then obviously we're not going to have things our own way. So, but we do need to have more from the players, without doubt. From what they gave us on Saturday against York, they were exceptional, and today they fell below that a little bit. So, like I said to them, we can't ever fall below the standards that we set ourselves. So we need to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves down. There'll be a few of them playing Tuesday, as well as the ones that haven't had some game time recently. And then obviously we've got to prepare on Thursday and get ready for another game on Saturday.
Thanks for your time.
No problem.